Government House in Maiduguri by the Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Professor Baba Malum Gana, saying the achievement was made possible because of its high performance in the implementation of the project in a holistic and coordinated approach during the previous year. Also, in the month of November, Borno State Government hosted a 2-day sensitization workshop for stakeholders on the Nutrition 774 initiative and inaugurated the State Council on Nutrition (SCN) at Multipurpose Hall of the Government House, Maiduguri. Governor Zulum, represented by his deputy Umar Usman Kadafur, described the event as a beacon of hope and a catalyst for change, stressing that nutrition is central to human development and prosperity of the state.
These are initiatives that symbolize our resolve to ensure that no child, no mother, and no citizen is left behind in fight against malnutrition.
Speaking on behalf of the federal government, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Health, Mrs. Uju Rochas Anwuka, said they were in Borno under the directive of the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, to introduce the Nutrition 774 initiative, a program under Renewed Hope Agenda. She described malnutrition as a silent killer among children, especially under 5, and called for community ownership of the initiative to ensure traditional and religious leaders, including local government chairmen, to identify vulnerable households and ensure interventions reach the grassroots. Similarly, during the month under review, Professor Babagana Umara was in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and attended the flagging off of the sail-away ceremony of the Floating Production, Storage and Offloading Vessel in Dubai, the first indigenous floating production, storage and offloading FPSO vessel owned by a Nigerian oil magnate, Alhaji Muhammad Indimi, a $315 million facility with storage capacity of 1 million barrels and a production capacity of up to 30,000 barrels per day, is the first floating production, storage and offloading vessel fully financed by an indigenous Nigerian company, Oriental Energy Resources Limited. In his remarks, Governor Zulum thanked the government and people of Dubai for hosting this milestone in the United Arab Emirates, which underscores the strength of mutual commitment to innovation, trade and sustainable development. Also in the month of November, Professor Babagana Umara, flanked by the Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri and that of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, were at the office of the new World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Mr. Matthew Vergas, in Abuja. The visit was to further strengthen the existing partnership for development and stabilization of the Northeast and to ensure the importance of World Bank's role in the post-insurgency recovery effort, and expressed appreciation for the continued support to the Northeast, particularly the implementation of development and stabilization projects.
Northeastern Governors Forum, we are here to familiarize ourselves with you and understand the complexity of what is ongoing in the Northeastern Nigeria.
The two governors of Yobe and Adamawa states, Mai Mala Buni and Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, commended the World Bank's existing interventions and outlined priority areas for future collaboration. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Mr. Matthew Vergas, thanked the governors for the visit and reaffirmed the World Bank's commitment to its mission in the region. Similarly, in the month of November, Governor Zulum was in Kwara State for the International Conference and the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Institute of Agricultural Engineers (NIAE) and Maiden National Agricultural Machinery Exhibition in Idofian, Ifelodun local government of Kwara State. In a keynote address, the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak said his administration is deploying policies and programs to empower youth, researchers and agro-allied ventures to add value, access to markets and deepen food security, stressing that over 10,000 farmers in the state have benefited from the distribution of farm inputs. He commended the Nigerian Institute of Agricultural Engineers for its leading role in mechanization and laying a resilient foundation for Nigeria's agricultural transformation for over 5 decades. While in Kwara, Governor Zulum attended the commissioning of Imam Gambari Ultra-Modern Mosque in Gambari with eminent clerics led by the Chief Imam of Ilorin, Sheikh Muhammad Bashir Saliu, and title holders in Ilorin Emirate were in attendance. During the month under review, Professor Babagana Umara flagged off the distribution of high-yielding wheat seeds, blended fertilizer, tractors and pesticides for the 2025-2026 dry season wheat farming. The event was held in Dusuman Ward of Jere Local Government, which marks the commencement of the federal government's intervention program for wheat cultivation in Nigeria. The initiative is being implemented under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket (NAGSAP), a flagship program of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security designed to empower farmers and reduce the country's reliance on food imports. Addressing stakeholders and beneficiaries of the farm inputs, Governor Zulum noted that the program aligns with his administration's commitment to revitalize the agricultural sector.
It is a renewed declaration of hope, resilience, and our overall commitment to ensuring that no family in Borno State goes hungry. No farmer is left behind, and agriculture remains a central pillar of our peace, recovery, and shared prosperity.
The governor commended President Bola Tinubu's food security initiative under the Renewed Hope agenda, acknowledging the steadfast leadership of the president, whose policy direction has continued to champion transformative investments in agriculture across Nigeria. Professor Babagana Umara thanked the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari. Speaking earlier, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, noted that 16 states will benefit from the National Agricultural Growth season. According to the minister, the 2025-2026 dry season wheat farming is targeting 80,000 registered farmers with an expected output value of approximately 160 billion naira, stressing that out of the 40,000 hectares earmarked for wheat production, 3,000 hectares have been allocated to Borno State, representing 6,000 wheat farmers.
By providing quality inputs and field-level extension services, the NAGS-AP is driving measurable gains in productivity and strengthening the systems that support the growth of our agricultural economy.
In an address, Borno Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Engineer Bau Musami, enumerated achievements of Zulum's administration in the agricultural sector, saying an ambitious South Chad irrigation scheme and bags fodder projects have been activated, with thousands of farmers cultivating varieties of produce.
Under the renewed vision of Mr. President, agriculture is being repositioned as the cornerstone of national prosperity.
Similarly, during the month under review, Professor Babagana Umara has called for a coordinated military offensive involving the Army, Navy and Air Force to target the insurgent strongholds in the Lake Chad area. Governor Zulum made the call when he received the newly appointed Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Kelvin Aneke, at the Government House, Maiduguri. The governor identified the Sambisa Game Reserve, the Mandra Hills and the Timbuktu Triangle as the enclaves of the Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters, and called for a coordinated operation and end the menace of insurgency soonest.
The thorough military operation that involved the naval, the air force and ground troops, purposely intended to root up the Tumbus, has never been done. And as of now, this area has provided a safe haven to the terrorists.
The governor recommended the deployment of additional military technology, specifically requesting the Nigerian Air Force to increase the deployment of unmanned aerial vehicle UAV into the theater, stressing that technology is the best solution to end the conflict. Professor Babagana Umar commended President Bola Tinubu for his support to the military, appealing for additional funding to equip the armed forces with modern hardware to effectively prosecute the counter-insurgency operation. Earlier, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Kelvin Aneke, appreciated the forward-looking leadership of Governor Zulum, especially in initiating community-based reconstruction and rehabilitation aimed at restoring livelihoods and essential services in affected areas.
Your administration's dedication to restoring livelihoods and essential services has significantly contributed to enhancing security and resilience in affected areas. The Borno model, I repeat, the Borno model of community engagement and reconciliation, which has prioritized healing, integration, and local ownership, exemplifies how non-kinetic strategy can complement military efforts to achieve sustainable results. Gentlemen, I think we should give a go.
Also, during the month under review, Governor Zulum approved 1 billion naira for the immediate takeoff of the Federal University of Agriculture and Entrepreneurship, Bama. He announced the donation when the inter-ministerial delegation from the Federal Ministry of Education assessment visit to the new institution paid him a courtesy call at the Government House in Maiduguri. The governor explained Borno's proactive role and the federal government's announcement to establish the university, saying the state has provided the enabling environment for immediate takeoff of the institution. Professor Babagana Umara applauded President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, sponsor of the bill, Senator Kakasho Lawan, Minister of Education, for ensuring that the university becomes a reality, and pledged to construct staff quarters as well as other additional support. In a remark, leader of the delegation, who is also the Director of University Education, Federal Ministry of Education, Haja Rekia Gambo Ilyasu, said the team would proceed with staff verification. Also, in the month of November, Governor Zulum has announced Borno State Government's commitment for open business and woo investors at the 3rd Aviation Conference, citing Borno's strategic location, improved security, and a favorable investment climate. The governor made the declaration at the 2025 Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN Annual Aviation Conference in Lagos with the theme Elevating the Nigerian Aviation Industry Through Investment, Partnership and Global Engagements. Professor Babagana Umara took time to highlight Borno's unique position as a commercial gateway, neighboring 3 countries of Chad, Cameroon and Niger republics, and offering short flight in Maiduguri, would soon be inaugurated for international operations. The governor further remarked that Maiduguri Dry Port will soon become operational, saying the federal government has approved the operation of a free trade zone and announced plans to establish a mega industrial hub near the international airport. Similarly, during the month under review, Professor Babagana Umara has pledged his administration's support to ensure victims of Boko Haram insurgency have access to justice. Governor Zulum gave the assurance during a meeting with the Director General of Legal Aid Council, Barrister Aliyu Bagudu Abubakar, and his management team at the Government House in Maiduguri, where he stressed the importance of legal representation and expressed commitment to support the vulnerable. Professor Babagana Umara urged the council to submit a formal request and promised to consider, review, and assure to look into their demands and see how the state would address some of them within its limit.
The Legal Council is saddled with the responsibility of providing
Earlier, the Director General Legal Aid Council, Barrister Aliyu Bagudu Abubakar, informed the governor that the council has been providing crucial legal services to victims of insurgency and displaced persons, handling cases ranging from property disputes and family matters to gender-based violence. Similarly, in the month of November, Governor Zulum has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration to the welfare and academic success of Borno indigenes studying abroad and encouraged them to remain focused on their studies. The governor was speaking when he interacted with Borno indigenes under the state government scholarship undergoing studies in India while he was on an official visit. He met with students of Borno State Scholarship Scheme at Sharda University in Noida and those studying at Integral University, Lucknow, and encouraged them to focus on their studies. The governor gave them cash assistance of 500,000 naira to each student, a gesture that serves as motivation, coupled with appreciation and relief among the students. Professor Babagana Umara also directed same financial assistance be extended to the Borno students on government scholarship studying in Malaysia, reaffirming his commitment to fairness across all scholarship students.
The arrival of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State.
Also in the month of November, the Emir of Lafia and the Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri, Justice Sidi Mohammed Bagay I, was at the Government House, Maiduguri, on a courtesy call to Governor Zulum. The visit was to brief Professor Babagana Umara ahead of the university's 25th combined convocation and its 50th anniversary celebration. The royal monarch extolled Governor Zulum for his exemplary and unparalleled leadership, standing tall amongst governors in Nigeria.
That today, Your Excellency stands tall amongst the governors.
Responding, Professor Babagana Umara appreciated the Emir for the recognition and solidarity, assured of his administration's continuous support to the university.
It's not a choice for us to support University of Maiduguri, but it is a necessity for us to support University.
Similarly, in the month of November, Governor Zulum met with Mr. Isaac Balami, the founder of Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics and Management, Buam, at the Government House in Maiduguri, and offered to train 27 Borno State indigent youth for degree programs in piloting, aeronautical engineering and other related disciplines. He said the gesture is an act of giving back to the society, inspired by a scholarship he received from Borno State government, which paved the way for his career in aeronautics.
I was given 100% scholarship.
Responding, Professor Babagana Umara thanked Mr. Isaac Balami for the offer given to the government and the people of Borno State for the training of a sizable number of aircraft pilots and technicians. He assured to support the university within its reach and directed the Commissioner of Education and the Executive Secretary of Scholarship Board to liaise with him for admission into the university.
As the government of Borno State, we shall do everything possible within our reach to support this university. And I want to most sincerely thank you for the offers that you have given to the government and good people of Borno State by training sizable numbers of aircraft planners and aircraft technicians coming 2026. Commissioner for Education and your team identify the most vulnerable in the population to benefit from this scheme. Those who cannot afford, neither their parents nor their relatives can afford.
To round up his engagements for the month of November, Governor Zulum was honored with an honorary doctorate degree of science at the University of Maiduguri at its 25th combined convocation ceremony. Also conferred with the honorary doctorate degree were the Emir of Kazore, Alhaji Najib Hussein Adamu, and the renowned philanthropist Sir Emeka Ofo. In a remark after his investiture, Governor Zulum announced a scholarship to 220 lecturers of the University of Maiduguri to pursue their doctorate degrees. Out of the number, 100 of them are to study abroad, while 120 will study in universities within Nigeria.
The university's contributions to innovative research worldwide are amply demonstrated in the exhibition mounted for this occasion. This not only showcases the intellectual output of the institution, but it also demonstrates the fact that they can be reliable partners for governments and the private sector. I believe that with these encouraging initiatives, the university is justified in relaunching the endowment fund today, so that they can mobilize the resources to enhance their research and development capabilities. For us in Borno State, partnership with the university has become a way of life.
Similarly, the University of Maiduguri has relaunched its endowment fund with over 5 billion naira richer as part of activities that marked the 50th anniversary of the University of Maiduguri. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, said, "Education is the nation's immune system, and the federal government vows to increase funding of the education sector." He added that the federal government is committed to revitalizing the education sector through increased funding and sweeping reforms. The Vice President acknowledged the university's 5-decade impact has paid its dues by producing graduates who have injected knowledge, competence, and moral character into the labor market.
We have been fortunate to come to the University of Maiduguri. It's a great fire minds are empowered to imagine their futures. And this is the true meaning of education. The belief that we are what we become, and we are what we make our